All right, all right, all right. We're here at Song of the Day, back in the Rock Cave for a second day in a row. We'll be here all week, but don't worry, we'll be back up in those mountains next week if all goes as planned. So you're stuck with me all week by myself. Could be worse, right? All right. Everyone recovered from Dire Straits yesterday? Did you do your homework? Still got to talk about that album, Dire Straits. We got some great comments underneath and some great points. If you didn't watch yesterday's show, go check into it today, because Brothers in Arms is quite an album. And as I said in the comments, if you have me list my favorite songs in order, the singles are all at the bottom. Not that they're bad songs, it's just that this album is that great. As a matter of fact, Money for Nothing is probably at the bottom, the very last song I would listen to. Partially because I've heard it so much. But you got other songs on that album that are non-singles that are just unbelievably good. Ride Across the River, unbelievable. The Man's Too Strong, probably my favorite. Brothers in Arms, killer. Why Worry? Oh my gosh. I mean, these songs you got to listen to. I think some of you did your homework and you actually listened to this album again. I did get some messages offline that you were doing just that. So, if you got the time, check that album out, listen to those non-singles, see what you think, and you can still comment on that today, because I'd still like to hear about what you think. But what a album, and what a song of the day to follow up, right? I don't know if I can beat that, but keep on keeping on. Obviously, things are a little different in the cave this morning. We've got a little extra poster here. This guy lives upstairs in our living room. It's the only Subway poster I have in the living area. We'll talk about that in a minute, but that's your hint, right? Today is August 11th. What happened today in history? 1956, Elvis Presley releases a single, but it's not a single, it's a double. It was a two-sided hit. I don't know how that all works. I'd have to read some more about that, but it was Don't Be Cruel on one side and Hound Dog on the other. What? Talk about see on the flip side. How do you decide which one to listen to? You just go over. I mean, he could have made some more money that way. He could use the money, right? I mean, anyway, that was released and went to number 1. 1967, the Reading Festival is taking place in the UK with big bands like Pink Floyd, Donovan, Cream, Jeff Beck, Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, and who remembers the crazy world of Arthur Brown? Again, WPLR, 1980s, playing that song Fire. Loved that song. I think people thought I was pretty weird for liking that song, but I love that song. I still love that song. It's a strange song. If you check that video out, he was famous for having these masks and costumes and things like that. That's pretty cool. 1984, number 1 song in all the land is Ghostbusters, Ray Parker Jr. Remember we talked about this in the Huey Lewis segment. Huey Lewis sued him for that, and because he says that was basically the song I Want a New Drug. If you listen to the two together, you can do that on YouTube. People have already mashed that together to show you. It's pretty darn close. They settled out of court. They're supposed to keep quiet about it. Huey Lewis, I think, has said his things over the years just a little bit. I don't know what he got paid in. Maybe it was Stay Puft Marshmallows or something. Who knows? Birthdays today. Eric Carmen is 71. Remember Eric Carmen? All by Myself. But more importantly, in relation to Song of the Day this past week, that epic episode of Dirty Dancing we did, Eric Carmen sang Hungry Eyes on that soundtrack. Remember that one? And Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson has a birthday. He's 104 today. Just kidding. Can you believe Joe Jackson's only 66? That means when we were watching those videos on MTV of that old guy singing, he was only in his early 30s. But if you don't know Joe Jackson, or if you think you know Joe Jackson, you should check him out again too. Maybe we'll do him on Song of the Day one of these days. But Steppin' Out, obviously, Breaking Us in Two. It's Different for Girls. That's a good song. You hear that on satellite radio. You Can't Get What You Want. Sunday Papers. I love Sunday Papers. That's like a reggae song. If you don't know Sunday Papers, check that out right now. Is She Really Going Out With Him? Of course. My girls even know the words to that one. He also did the soundtrack to the movie Mike's Murder, which no one saw, but it did have a song called Memphis on it that I really like a lot. that's your wrap up for this day in history. Let's get to song of the day. We're already 5 minutes in, my apologies. So I saved this episode for this so I could do it with this poster here. So that's why we're going back to August 3rd, 1992. INXS puts out their 8th album, Welcome to Wherever You Are. The first single, Heaven Sent. There's your poster right there. That's a promo poster from the record company. Basically, what's happening in 92, grunge is taking over. Everyone cares about grunge and nothing else. This is a tough time for bands like INXS to compete with what's going on. They actually try to reinvent themselves a little bit. They bring in a 60-piece orchestra. They're playing a sitars. They're doing a bunch of different stuff. It did debut at #1 in the many European countries. It was the first #1 debut by an Australian band in the United Kingdom since AC/DC's Back in Black. What? I don't even know if that makes sense, but I guess that means that means Kick didn't even do that for them. But whatever, that's interesting. It went to number 13 in the United States, so obviously a little bit of a slip as far as charting is concerned, but it did go platinum. Remember, for them, they're coming off the album X, which was very popular. It had Suicide Blonde on it. They did a massive tour in 1990. It was 10 months long, 121 shows. 1.2 million people saw that show. I did not. Would have liked to see that show. Even the live footage came out as Live Baby Live. They put out a live album. That Blu-ray just came out just this summer, and I just got it. I haven't watched it yet. It's supposed to be really good. We did watch the documentary on INXS. Also very good. If you haven't seen that, watch it. I think that's new. That just came out this year as well. What do you got for songs on here, basically? You got 5 singles. 4 of them came out in the United States. The singles, Heaven Sent, Taste It, Not Enough Time, Baby Don't Cry is the single that came out in Australia and the UK only, and Beautiful Girl. Those are solid songs. Other songs, Questions, Communication, All Around, Wishing Well, Back Online, Strange Desire, and Men and Women. I tell you what, I love this album, and I wish that INXS was still around. I can't talk enough about INXS. I love this band. I will definitely do their other albums on Songs of the Day, and I'll be excited to do that. The Swing is a great album. Before Listen Like Thieves, it's hard to compete with Listen Like Thieves and Kick, right? I mean, but Listen Like Thieves, awesome album. Do you ever hear the song This Time on the radio? Great song. I can't wait to do those. It'd be interesting to see, if INXS had still been around, what they would do in today. So I love this record, and there's a lot of good songs on here, but for me, there was one standout single above all, and it's not Heaven Sent, although I do love this poster. Again, it is in my living room. I won that negotiation, thankfully. I think that's a win for me, because there's something about this poster that I absolutely love, and I think it's great. So, but the song of the day has got to be Not Enough Time. This song is on every mix that I make. If I'm making a party mix or just a rock mix, whatever it is, this song speaks to me. I love it. If you've never heard this song, play it. Tell me what you think. It may not be your favorite, but it's one of my favorites. It's just the way it is. Not Enough Time. INXS is your song of the day. We're at 8.5 minutes. We're going to wrap this up. Hope you have an awesome day. It is humid out there. Hope you got your power back. Tomorrow's Wednesday. You know what we got going on Wednesday. We're going to mix it up, so be ready. Don't forget, you have to listen to Brothers in Arms front to back today. And now you got to listen to Not Enough Time by INXS. Have a great one. And as usual, we'll see you on the flip side.